See how long it takes somebody to get here. Probably everybody is in class or at work, I would guess. Gavin, what up? How's it going? Layla, Gavin. How's it going, guys? I'm trying to stir my coffee. About to get ready for work. How's everybody doing so far? How am I doing? I am okay. Not bad. Just tired. And apparently, this, I just feel like congested in my chest and a little bit up here. When I woke up, I was like, I'm getting in the shower because that might help, and it didn't hurt. But I don't feel bad. I just don't feel great, you know. So hopefully I'm not getting sick. Knock on wood. But yeah, I think I'm okay. A little stressed out, but alright. Yeah. You are blah. I mean, I'm not even sure I would say blah. It's like, I don't know. It's like halfway between blah and whatever that is. How are you guys doing? This is probably too hot to drink through a straw. I just poured it. One size bigger or one size smaller. It depends what it is. Oh, that is good. That's very good coffee. I didn't put any creamer in it this time. Yesterday I just put a little bit of creamer. And no sugar. But today I was like, I want to get the caramel, the salted caramel flavor from the actual coffee grounds. So, from the actual coffee, whatever. So I just put a little bit of sugar in it. It's delicious. I mean, that's kind of a stupid question, Jack. So I'm gonna decline to answer. And also, I think that's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of a misogynist. Sorry, I have a hard time saying that word, but it's kind of a stupid question. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should think about not asking questions like that. It's okay. Withdrawn. No hard feelings. What is your work? Well, my work is basically nothing. Excuse me. Trying to get my life together. Thinking about going back to work. So right now I am getting my life together. Basically, working on the website, helping Katie out, etc., etc. I help my family around, help my family out around the house, stuff like that. Go over to their houses, help them. Getting ready for work. Oh no, Gavin said he's getting ready for work, and I was reading his comment out loud. What have I done for work? I have. What have I done for work? Well, when I was in high school, I used to work at my high school in the summer to help pay for my tuition, which was not super fun. It was like legit hard labor and or just like tedious bullshit. It was one extreme or the other. Like carrying all of the furniture in a classroom out of the classroom so they could like polish the floors, wax the floors, whatever. And there was some like really heavy shit. Like some people got injured. Like one time I remember when my high school got air conditioning. Yeah, we didn't have air conditioning in the whole building. And they made the boys carry these air conditioners. And these were huge air conditioning units, okay? They're super freaking heavy. One kid dropped, and he was a big dude. Like, he could carry his fair share, you know what I'm saying? And he dropped, I mean, it was several people carrying this. He dropped it on his big toe. And, like, almost, it was bad. And he basically, like, hardcore broke the bone and had to have surgery and all this shit. It was bad. Yeah, you don't just carry AC units, am I right? And one time they made us carry these things of, and we were students, like high school students. All of us were high school students, and I'm like, this isn't safe. Get professionals. Oh hey, thank you for becoming a fan. And then one time they made us carry pieces of glass, like that should be windows, without gloves. They didn't have anything around them, and like people like, and it wasn't a short distance. We had to like, you know, carry them a decent. That's dangerous, like. And but anyway, so I did that for 2 summers, and then the third summer I had the office job. Hey, happy hump day. Mike. I got the office job, and I had to work like 8 hours a day instead of 4 or 5. But I got to. It was better in some ways and worse in others. But anyway, I liked it, and I did that, and then the next summer I went to Germany, so I didn't work. And then the next summer I worked at a property services management combined with our realtor's office, but they were like separate. And that was kind of horrible. I mean, the people I worked with were cool, but the customers were, hey, whoa, thank you for inviting your 102 fans to the broadcast. Excuse me. The customers were a little bit shitty, and I like worked in the like legitly the hood, like we kept the doors locked while we were there. And how do you invite fans? Do you see this thing? Like this side thingy, like it's next to the thumbs up, and then like in between that and the capture button, you just click that, and then that's how you do that. But yeah, so I worked there, and then I went to college, and then I worked I worked at the radio station, college radio station, as a DJ. And then later, still while doing that, also worked in the TV studio doing various things, running teleprompter, running camera. I did some TD work, technical director. I did master control a couple times. I did audio a couple times. I did graphics a lot, which graphics doesn't sound, it sounds fancy, but it's not. You do like lower thirds mostly, and find pictures of stuff. And then my favorite was Oh, I don't know if I said I ran camera, but I ran camera. My favorite was floor director. And once I got that, and then thank you for inviting your fans. Yeah, the share button. I could have just said that, but my coffee hasn't kicked in. Ugh, my lungs. Um, yeah, that was my favorite floor director. And once I, why must you live stream so early? Sorry, Jen. Um, yeah, the floor director is my absolute favorite, and if I could do that right now, I probably would. But there's no TV studios around here, so. But when I move back to Indianapolis, I might try to do that. Oh, and I've also worked at Dollar General in Evansville, and then I loved it. It was hard. Sometimes it was like hard physical labor, carrying heavy shit, but I really liked it because the people I worked with rocked. And then when I came up here, I was like, oh, um, I'm gonna get a job at Dollar General because I love that, and I'm already qualified, so they'll probably hire me. So they hired me, and I hated it. It was a big store. Like they got 2 trucks a week instead of 1, which wouldn't alone make me hate it, but they stuck me on cash register, and that was all I was allowed to do. That's it. And the line would be literally to the back of the store, and nobody would come and open up a second line, and then the customers would get shitty with me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, and it was horrible. Like I just had to stand there and check people out all the time. And at this time I wasn't on any medicine for my anxiety and stuff like that. So I oh, and there was somebody I worked with. A lot of the people I worked with kind of sucked. And there was one lady I worked with who was an assistant manager who literally, it wasn't just me, would yell at anybody when they needed more change out of their drawer. Like, I'm running a cash register, okay? People buy things, I take their money, and then if they need change, I give them change, right? I don't make the price, control what people buy. I'm just doing what the machines tell me to do. Meaning, I have, like, it's not my fault that I've had to give out a lot of dimes today or a lot of nickels or whatever. And I would call her, but you can't get into the safe yourself unless you're an assistant manager or a manager. So I would have to call her up to the front to get in the safe to get me rolls of change, like coins. And she would get so shitty. Holy crap. So I started having panic attacks before going to work. I'm smiling, but it's not funny. But like, it was bad. And before this, I would have never in a million years done like a no call, no show. Meaning you don't show up for work and you don't call. But I started to. And it was bad. And then I fell and hurt my wrist. And they were like, like at home. And they were like, yeah, no repetitive activity. Meaning, no cashiering, because it was my right wrist, I'm right-handed. And I couldn't, like, scan things. So, I was like, yeah, peace out, motherfucker. So, yeah, it was horrible. Just in from college, very nice. Hello, everybody that showed up while I was rambling. How are you doing? So anyway, since then I haven't had a real job. That was a long time ago, if I'm honest. But, when was that? Oh, like, I don't know, a while after that. I could tell if I thought about it, but whatever. A while after that, I found Katie's videos, and I found the website, and, I've been doing this ever since, and do you have a Tumblr? I do. It's, Batman NOS. It's the same thing, as my Twitter. Like, my Twitter is Batman NOS, and my Instagram is the same one. Horrible to work for. Well, the one I worked for I've heard that, actually. I have heard that. But the one I worked for in Evansville, it was Dollar General. Oh, thank you for the applause. I loved it. I genuinely loved it. Like, I didn't make very much, but I loved the people I worked with. The customers were pretty cool. I had a couple shitty ones that I still remember to this day. But, to those people, I would literally just say, have a nice day when they left. And then sometimes when they would always ignore me. And then I would say, have a nice day, like to make sure they heard me. Because I want them to have a nice day. I'm an assistant manager at Ross Dress for Less. That sounds familiar, but I'm not positive I know what that is. But I'm assuming by the title I can tell. How is that? My sister is... excuse me, my sister is an assistant manager she just got promoted. She might, whatever. She's not like the head store manager, but she's like next in line. She just got promoted recently at a clothing store. This coffee is so good. There's no creamer in here. A little bit of sugar, and that's it. And this is a whole pot of coffee. It's delicious. Do you like your job, Gavin? Yeah, it must be a West Coast thing. Unless it's not. And I just don't know. Because there's lots of shit. I don't get out much. There's lots of shit I haven't heard of. But yeah, I also like to, I would like to be a photographer. I would love to be a radio DJ, but with my vocal cords, there's no way. I would have to... I don't even know if they can do surgery. I'm assuming they could. But I would have to get, like, surgery and go to vocal, like, voice therapy and learn how to talk, relearn how to talk at a higher pitch. I'd have to talk like this all the time. Or something. Oh, my nose is running. Sorry, TMI, right? Hang on. Is this awkward? Anyway, I feel weird blowing my nose on here. Ross is amazing. East Coast, hey. I'm not really on the coast. Like, they say, East Coast. It's just kind of funny because, I'm all about East Coast, what, but I'm also about West Coast, even though I've never been there. I've actually, no wait, I have been to the East Coast. I have, a couple times. To DC and, like Virginia Beach, Virginia, and, places like that. Oh, and I went to Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Management is always hard. I've been there 8 years. It's a pretty good job. It's good. Oh, you do have Ross on the East Coast? That's cool. For all I know, there's one in Indianapolis. I actually looked around for the first time a little bit back in July in Indianapolis, and there was all this shit that I either had never heard of or had only barely heard of, and I was like, damn, Indianapolis is getting lots of things. But like I said, there's like nothing here, so I'm a little anxious about moving back just because I got so used to being in a town with nothing. Like I don't even want to go out to the stores or whatever at certain times of day because traffic's heavy, right? Traffic's heavy. I was like glitching, but traffic's heavy. And I grew up in Indianapolis, and I learned to drive in Indianapolis, like on interstates, because there's an interstate that goes through the city. And it wasn't like a big deal, and now I'm anxious. I think it'll just take a little getting used to. Again, like readjusting. Well, I never even adjusted to begin with. It was just always a thing. Would you go on to do something with mental health and Katie would employ you in her office? I mean, I wouldn't be able to do anything like provide services. Slowly trickling in the middle of the country. There's not a lot of them in the middle. Oh, okay. Maybe there's one in like St. Louis or something. But I feel like I have heard of that. But anyway, I wouldn't be able to like provide services or anything like that. But I love what I do for Katie on the website, and I would love to, like if she ever wanted me to do more, I would be more than happy to do that. But obviously I wouldn't be able to like be a therapist or anything like that. But I would totally like be her agent or be her publicist or whatever. I mean, according to Sean, I'm kind of already her publicist slash agent. And one day, if Katie's like rolling in the dough, then she'll probably hire me, and then I would eventually move out to LA and all that stuff. That would be awesome. I would totally do that in a heartbeat. Okay, I missed some stuff. Hang on. Doing well. Can't catch today. Where did it go? At preschool practicum. So I can't watch or hear. Bye. Oh, I'm sorry, Ashley. Maybe you can watch this later. Blowing my nose in front of people. I'm terrified of crying in therapy because... Oh my gosh. Okay. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny that you say that because I mean, who likes crying, right? Period. And then who likes crying in front of people? On top of that, nobody. Unless they have like maybe like histrionic personality disorder and they'll do anything to be the center of attention. I don't know, but I'm not like a professional. I'm just spouting out things at the top that come to the top of my brain space. What? Anyway, yeah, I never wanted to cry in therapy, but I specifically, as soon as I read what you said, that I specifically remembered sitting in therapy, and anytime I would cry or get teary-eyed or whatever, and my nose would start running, I would like feel this like a sense of slight panic because I'm like, oh my god, how do I like discreetly do this? And I mean, I loved my therapist, still love my therapist. I haven't seen her in 4 fucking years, and we still email regularly. Like, I'm pretty sure I was her favorite. Probably not, but I know she liked me. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that's funny, Anyway. Where do you live currently? I live in Indiana. It's like northwest, or wait, no, not northwest, northeast-ish. Like Indiana, or I mean, Ohio, the Ohio border is like, I don't know, an hour away. A receptionist for Katie? I'd totally do that. Her and Sean could adopt me. Would that be weird? Because Katie's only like 5 years older than me. Would that be weird? That might be a little weird. Plus, they don't want any kids, so not that I'm a kid. Thanks for the ginger ale idea. You are welcome. how was the last session with her, with my therapist? Sad. It was really, 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 really great, but in a super, super, super sad way, because we weren't ending therapy because we wanted to. We were ending therapy because I had to leave school and move back up here, or move up here. I never really lived up here, but and like, she was a school therapist, so I couldn't continue to see her, and also I was gonna move like 5 hours away. But we we knew it was the last session, and we were both really, really sad. And it was great. It was a great session. It was amazing. But we both cried a lot. And we hugged and all that stuff, but we keep in touch. You know what I'm saying? Young mother. You get Ohio and Oregon mixed up? I think that's probably get the names mixed up, right? Because I think that could be a dyslexic thing. I don't even know if you're dyslexic, but just from a person who has dyslexia, this guy, that sounds like something that I would do. She would be one of the cool moms. She would be one of the cool moms. She would totally be one of the cool moms. Oof, got the heat up a little too high. The sun's beaming in. Not complaining about the sun, but I'm getting a little warm, especially with the hot coffee. Sounds really cute. Yeah, it was super, 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 super fucking sweet. And she gave me these note cards. That was like Stephanie's notes for life, for Carly, or something like that. And we came up with like bullet points of like things that she's taught me in therapy, and things to refer back to and whatnot. And it was super, 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 super awesome. And then, like, after I moved up here, every day for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, I think it was a week though, she would talk to me on the phone every weekday. Because it was like an insanely difficult transition. And I have not been in therapy since then. Oh my gosh, I'm hot. But I need to be in therapy, probably. But to be quite honest, I don't want to be in therapy at the moment. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? Location, I think Ohio is on the West Coast and Oregon on the East Coast. Well, that could also be... I mean, I don't know if you're dyslexic, but that also sounds like something I would do. Also, somebody on YouNow was like, I think that it was their broadcast, maybe? I can't remember. It was just a random broadcast I was in. And, like, I was just clicking on random people's broadcasts. And they were like, oh, hey, where are you from? And I was like, Indiana. And they're like, Indiana? Where's Indiana? So I'm thinking they're from, like, a totally different place. And I was like, where are you from? And they were like, Boston. And I was like, if you lived on the West Coast, I can understand that. But you live on, I don't know, it's just weird. You know what I mean? Because, like, I can't give you, I could very well be wrong if you ask me to, like, tell me, oh, thank you for the 50 likes. If you ask me to tell you, like, where Utah and Nevada and all of these places are, like, I know the general area, but if you were like, tell me in what order would you go through them if you were driving across the country, I would get them wrong. So I get that if you're like, but I don't know, I just thought it was weird. Like, you didn't even know where it was. And then I was like, it's between Ohio and Illinois, and above Kentucky and below Michigan. And I swear to God, he still didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, do you know where the Great Lakes are? Underneath that. And he still didn't know. And I was like, you're like 30. I'm confused. Hey, thank you for becoming a fan. Oh, I wouldn't say you're uneducated. People get mixed up. You know what I'm saying? What up, Jer? Why are you divided about going to therapy? I'd get them mostly right. Yeah, I might. But I would probably, like, mix up a couple. Like, Arkansas. I don't know where that place is. I mean, I do. I know the general area, but I could mix them up. You know what I mean? Why am I divided about going to therapy? Well, I know that therapy's awesome. I genuinely am like, I loved therapy because I did. You know, it was hard sometimes, a lot of the times, but if you have the right therapist, therapy's awesome and it helps a lot. But at the same time, like, I don't know, before, like 6 months ago, oh God, 5 days away from being 7 months ago, I would have gone to therapy for very different reasons. Like, my best friend lying to me and stabbing me in the back and, like, in a major way, and it deeply affected me. Still affects me. Not like it did, of course, but anyway, I would have gone to therapy for that, or to work on my anxiety. Stuff like that. But now, therapy would probably not so much be that, and it would be about grief. And if I'm totally honest, I don't want to deal with it. Like, I just want to be in denial as long as possible, and that's getting harder and harder and harder as time goes on. And going to therapy, I just feel like I would have to talk about it. I don't know, you don't have to talk about it. But, I mean, I could get away with not talking about it. Because I don't even know that I would tell them. That's another thing. I don't even want to tell anybody, like a therapist, that what's happened. And I don't want to talk about how I feel, and I don't want to hear about it, and I don't want to think or talk about grief. I mean, like, in this capacity, I'm fine, because I'm talking about it as a general subject. You know what I mean? I don't know. And it just depends on the day and my mood and blah, blah, blah. Like, right now, this is not bothering me. But yeah, I don't want to go in there and be like, they're like, so why did you decide to come to therapy? I would, like, give them reasons that weren't grief. And then, like, I don't know. To be honest, I don't want to deal with it. Which I know is not healthy. I'm fully aware it's not healthy. But I'm also fully aware that, I already said it wasn't healthy. Like, I know it's not healthy, but I'm doing it anyway. Whatever. I just feel like I will deal with it when I'm more ready to deal with it. Although, how the fuck can you ever be ready to deal with that? You know what I mean? Nevada is literally next to California. It jumped. I hate the scroll. Oh my god, it did it again. Listen. Chat. Oh my god. I'm in Cali and was born in Nevada. I have dyslexia and I get my words mixed up, so my sentences don't make sense. Yeah, I've done that before. Transposing words is definitely a big ol' symptom of dyslexia. And I do that a lot. Like saying transposing, I didn't know what that meant until a few years ago. Transposing words is like saying Mon lower. See, I can't do it as easily if I think about it. Mon lower instead of lawn mower. Or Nork instead of New York. And yeah, that stuff like that. There's also a lot of symptoms of dyslexia that you would not automatically, like, it's not just about school or learning or whatever. There's so many symptoms of dyslexia, like 36 or something. And like one of them, this is random in my opinion, having a really strong sense of justice, having a really strong moral compass, like having a very strong sense of what's fair and unfair, what's right and what's not right. So, when something happens and you're like, that's so unfair, and it like really upsets you, that can be a dyslexic thing. Isn't that weird? Yes, exactly. That is a symptom of dyslexia. I had no freaking clue that that was a symptom of dyslexia. And I've been like that hardcore my whole life. And I had no idea. And there's some other things too. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. But I have a blog post on dyslexia called I'm Not Dumb. Because I always felt like I was dumb, as a kid. But I'm not dumb, I'm just dyslexic. What was that? Oh. Yes, that is true, Gavin. Just mixed up like that quite often. Have a very strong sense of justice. I should read up. Yeah, you totally should. If for no other reason, I think it's really interesting. What's your blog? My blog is... I will type it into the chat. Yes, it does make college hard. It makes college very hard. For sure. Hang on, I need a haircut. You are all in a good mindset. Thank you, you too. Well, having trouble spelling can also have something to do with it. Okay, I missed some things, I think. Terrible geography and Canadian, but I know where Indiana is on the map. Oh my gosh, the scroll is insane. Interesting. I did not know about selective mutism. Mine just talked about wrestling. I wouldn't say my blog is helping lives. I would just say, that's sweet of you to say, but I would just say, and plus I barely ever write in it. Numbers as well. Yep, that is also it. Can I ask you about BPD and therapy? Sure, go for it. What is my favorite thing about Indiana? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Maybe IU, Indiana University. I should probably clarify for those of you who do not live in Indiana. Actually, this shirt, Indiana, is super old, but Indiana University, IU. I love me some IU. Hang on, I gotta put my hair up. I love IU. Oh, the Indiana Dunes is amazing. Are amazing. Like Indiana Dunes National Park. I think it's a national park. Or state park. State park. And it's on the beach, aka Lake Michigan, and people try to say lakes aren't, like, you can't have a beach on a lake. if you say that, you've never been to Lake Michigan. Because you would think that Lake Michigan is the ocean. If you didn't know better, minus the salt and the sharks. So yeah, I love Lake Michigan, even though I've been 3 times my whole life. I love IU because I love sports. I hate Purdue. Down with Purdue. Purdue is a rival school. And Indiana summers are fairly decent. It's really pretty in the fall. There's like a covered bridge festival and stuff. I haven't been to that in years though. Yeah. Does that answer your question? It's not super exciting, but you know. Oh, I'm sorry, Jen. Hopefully it'll get sunny again soon. Enjoys video games is a characteristic of dyslexia. I mean, I could see that, but I feel like I need to elaborate as to why that might be the case. Because I guess I could see how that would, you know what I mean? I don't know, but not everybody's gonna like video games, and I think some people like. It's easier to figure out video games for some people than it is for others, or I don't know. I'm just spouting bullshit, I think, but how long until you got relief through therapy? The first, like, as soon as I started recognizing my behaviors and being self-aware is when the relief started. It was still extremely difficult, but that was like step 1, was realizing my behaviors. Hey John, what's going on? Did you ask that girl out? How did it go? We'll see, Jen. We'll see. I need to do my FAFSA. Let's do beginning of March, I think. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, okay. BPD. So, this is the first time I'm watching it. Well, thank you for watching me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got it, Jer. I'm on it. Thanks. Yeah, I would say step 1 was for sure recognizing my behaviors. Like, and then honestly, if you haven't gotten the book BPD for Dummies, get BPD for Dummies. Because reading that book made me, I wish I would have known about it and read it sooner than I did. And reading that book made me, because it's not, the bad part about the book is it's not tailored for people who have BPD. But the good part about the book is that it's not tailored for people who have BPD, meaning they're not going to like sugarcoat it. They're like, this is what BPD is, this is how people act, this is how manipulative you're being, even though you don't realize you're being manipulative. They don't say it like that, but this is me, you know, whatever. Like, I would read these situations in the book, and then I'd go, oh my god, that's horrible. They explain what gaslighting is. I'm not sure I like was a gaslighter myself. I was on the lower end of the spectrum, less severe. But there were times where I was being manipulative and I didn't even know it. Truly did not know it. And then that made me realize in what scenarios I was being manipulative in, or in what scenarios I was being manipulative, and made me realize that I was giving people the silent treatment when they had upset me and they didn't even know what they had done. And the silent treatment is extremely cruel. And that made me realize that. I got the book from the library so many times that my therapist was like, maybe you should just get the book. And I was like, that's a good idea. So I got the book, and then you can like write in it and highlight stuff. You can take notes. I took notes. Your dad won't do your FAFSA. Well, you do your FAFSA, and then add the tax part, your parents' tax part, when you can. And or talk to your school counselor about that, because that's crap. Anyway, like even if you get your information, like copies of your dad's information, you can do it. It's, it'll be fine. And so anyway, I would say get BPD for Dummies for sure. I would also say look up DBT on Wikipedia and get out a pen and paper and write down some notes. Write down the different sections of it: distress tolerance, self-soothing, whatever all of the things are. I can't even remember. Distracting, all this stuff. I can't even remember like the specific sections of it because now it's like kind of ingrained in my behavior and I don't have to think about it. But yeah, read that book and then take notes on DBT. And anytime you get upset, take out the notes and look at them and write stuff down if you have to. Write down how you're feeling and why you're feeling that way, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then, or anytime you're upset, pull out BPD for Dummies and read it. And it serves as a distraction and a helpful tool. And just work on shit. Like, no, don't give me the slashy face. Don't give me the, like, the slashy face. Because, so what if you're in DBT? I mean, that's awesome that you're in DBT. But get the book and look up DBT on Wikipedia anyway. Or look up DBT on other websites anyway. Do everything you can to learn about BPD. That's another thing I would say. Learn everything you can about BPD. And don't read books. I mean, you can read books, but don't read just books that are tailored for people with BPD. Read books about BPD, period. That's why I'm saying BPD for Dummies. Okay, John, what did you say? Clearly nervous. Forgot to mention that I was on a date when I asked, and she said yes, so it jumped. So I texted her and was like, I don't know if you know this, but it keeps jumping, but I asked you on a date, and she was like, I know, LOL. Oh my god, it keeps jumping. And then I got so excited. Oh, John, I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. I think that's cute. That's adorable. And also, I think it's funny that you were like, oh shit, did she know it was a date? But then she thought it was cool. And she probably thought that was cute. I mean, I imagine. As a girl, I would probably think that was cute. Coffee. Okay, what was it doing? He won't give me the information, he won't do it. Whoa, thank you for the 50 likes, Gavin. Was I diagnosed with BPD? Whoa, thank you for the 2,000 likes. Holy crap. Hey, Karen, what's going on? Takes time to unlearn stuff we struggle with in our lives. Yes, exactly. Exactly what Layla said. It takes time. Personality disorders. Don't give me that bullshit. Nobody. Dear world, don't give me that bullshit about personality disorders are for life. That's bullshit. They're not. If you work your ass off and you put in every ounce of fucking effort you can muster, then they're not for life. If you sit around, lay around, walk around, whatever, and say, oh, personality disorder and personality disorder for life and it's for life and that's so black and white and that's bullshit. If you work on yourself, they're not for life. If you sit there and go, it's for life, so I guess I should just accept it and be miserable, then it's for life. Because if you don't put up any effort, of course it's going to be for life. Like, duh. Like, it just blows my mind when people hear that they have a personality disorder, or even when doctors or therapists or whoever, by the way, if anyone tells you, now this is for life, so blah, 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 dump them. Get somebody else that knows what the fuck they're talking about. Because, yes, I'm not a professional, but I also was in that whole, like, this is for life and there's no cure and blah, blah, blah. I don't like to think of things in terms of cures because now I am confident that I would not meet the full criteria for a BPD diagnosis. I might meet the criteria for BPD features, but that is even iffy at this point. And yes, I was never on the super severe end of the spectrum, but it doesn't matter. Like, you just have to want to change. That's the biggest thing, because a lot of people sit there, and I've talked about this before, a lot of people sit there and say, I feel like shit, I hate the way this is affecting me, I hate the way this is affecting people around me, I hate the way this is affecting my life, but, like, they're saying, I want to change so badly, or I wish or I'm trying. A lot of people say I'm trying, when really what they're doing is they're not trying. They think they're trying. Sorry, I had an itch. They think they're trying, but they're not. And that's not anything against them or saying that they're horrible or bad because they don't realize that they're not trying, but they're not trying. They think they're trying. They truly believe that they're trying because they're wishing so deeply that things would be different. I used to do that. And then one day I realized that wasn't trying. Trying is becoming self-aware. Practice becoming self-aware, recognizing your behaviors, recognizing what triggers you, recognizing how you react and why you're reacting that way, and working on DBT and stuff like that. So anybody can sit there and be in therapy. They can be in DBT group therapy. They can be on one-on-one therapy. They can read all of these books and have all of these things. But they're not actually applying that stuff to their life. They're not going to improve. Period. The end. And you can apply that, maybe change the DBT or whatever the case may be, but you can apply that to any situation ever. For the most part. One step at a time. Exactly. One step at a time. Hey, I hope you are doing well as well, also. And it's jumping again. If you don't like your current situation and you don't do anything about it, nothing will change. Yep, that's the truth. Yes, that's another thing. With BPD, it's very common. It diminishes with age. So if you're like working on it and aging, because most people are aging, then that right there, you know what I mean? Bored, want to travel. I love traveling. Where would you like to travel to if you could? You go, sister. When guys ask and they are nervous, shy about it. Yeah, we kind of do. I mean, it's not like we want them to be shy and nervous about it, because who wants to be shy and nervous, but it's, I don't know, it's just kind of cute. That's awesome, Karen. That's awesome. A good combo word. I think we celebrate it annually. We do celebrate it annually. I think I've heard of that too. I'm thinking of bringing a single flower on the first day when I go to pick her up from her place. I think that's an excellent idea. Just don't make it a rose. Roses might be a little too much, but I'm sure I have a feeling you already do that. Sorry, my sister texted me. I don't know what a dun flower is. I would guess, if it were me, I'd love a carnation, because that's one of my favorite flowers. When is your birthday? My birthday? My birthday is March 31st. And I'm not particularly looking forward to it. Just because it's going to be an emotional day for me. Whoa. That is awesome. Hang on 1 second. Looking to a farming internship in England seems pretty cool. Ooh, that is intriguing. That does sound cool. This might be a stupid question, are you a farmer now? Or do you just aspire to be a farmer? Either way, that's awesome. And it's in England, that's fucking cool. A cactus. Yeah, you could bring her a cactus. I was originally thinking a rose, but now I'm thinking a tulip or whatever I can find that looks cute at the store. Yeah, I wouldn't personally, I mean, anybody feel free to offer your thoughts or disagree, but personally, I might be a little, like, if somebody gave me a rose on a first date. Like, sweet, I would recognize that it's very sweet, but I would also, the fear of, I guess, commitment or whatever. I don't know that I'm afraid of commitment, but maybe I am. Maybe my fear of clingy people, or my fear of, not to say I don't get clingy vibes from you, but my fear of, I don't know, my fear of something would make me go, just a little bit. Because, like, even if it's one, I don't know, roses to me say love and, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Keep asking what her favorite flower was the other day, but she doesn't have one. So, it jumped. So now I just need to find out her favorite color. That is a good idea. And even if it's not like a traditional like flower color, you can have a flower shop paint flowers. I don't know if you knew that. I did not know that till I was in high school, because my cousin Erin's favorite color was green, like Kelly green. And so my friend got her a dozen green carnations, I think, but they like painted them. It was awesome. Medieval history, but also love nature, love being outside. That is cool. That's really cool. Chocolate's always good. Cacti are cute. I agree with you on that. I have Christmas cacti, although they're technically succulents. You have the ability to pick up clingy vibes. I actually do. I really do. I'm not sure I think I could a little bit before joining the website, but now that I've been on the website for so long and dealt with a large array of people, And also I've just gotten older and I've dealt with a large array of people in the real world. Um, yeah, I can pick up clingers, as I like to call them, fairly quickly. I am okay. How are you doing? Yeah, I like succulents. Someday I really want like a cool looking aloe plant, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna wait until I move back to Indianapolis to get one. And or until I move to California. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe when I move to California one day, I'll get an aloe plant and a cactus. But like a really cool looking cactus, you know what I'm saying? Shaped like a horse. That's cool. Tell you how. What's a clinger? I joke and say, like, if somebody's clingy and I'm picking up on it, I'm like, we got a stage 5 clinger, or we got a stage whatever clinger. Like when somebody is instantly like you just meet somebody and then you realize you have a few things in common, and then, not that this always means this, but when they're very enthusiastically like, oh my god, do you want to be best friends? And you just like, we'll see, or that's cool, because but like you don't want to hurt their feelings, but like that's one sign that somebody is like a clinger, as I call them. There's lots of signs. I don't even know if I can think of all of them, but there's ways that one can tell, especially if you hello James, especially if you've had experience with clingers. And then like later signs could be like if somebody wants to talk to you all the time or every day, or when you're talking either in person, online, whatever, on the phone, and you're like, okay, well, I gotta go because I got some things to do, and they're like, oh wait, and then they keep you on the line, like because I mean that stuff happens like to anybody, whether you're a clinger or not. Like somebody's like, oh hey, I'm gonna let you go because I got some stuff to do or whatever, and then somebody says, oh, real quick though, what time are you gonna be here tomorrow, or whatever the case may be. They ask you like a quick question. That's fine, but when people, you consistently try to go, and then they are like, like when somebody doesn't have boundaries, basically. Which, to be honest, is a thing I used to have trouble with, boundaries. But now I'm like the boundaries master, and I'm super good at boundaries. Like, I love me some boundaries, to the point where if somebody else doesn't have boundaries, I'm gonna throw up the boundaries always and forever. But also, I'm like, nope. If I can sense that they don't have boundaries, I will not get close to them at all. And that's truly nothing personal. Like, I'm not trying to be judgy against the clingers. I just don't want clinginess around me. Boundary master word. You don't want to go to class? Do you want me to write you a note? I'll totally write you a note. Okay, I missed some stuff. I agree, Gavin. I also prefer first dates to be a lot more chill and a lot less formal. In fact, I just don't prefer formal dates, period. Not that I'm like the grandmaster of dating, because I haven't dated in a long time. But, yeah, I wouldn't be down with formal stuff. Okay, well, I can't control the scroll, so if I missed it, I'm sorry. Do you have any advice for do you have any advice on how to deal with jealousy? Oh man, jealousy. I used to get hella jealous. hella jealous, if I'm honest. Like, oh my god, if my best friend spent time with people, like she moved to a different city and didn't know anybody there, literally, except the people she worked with. And then once she finally did start getting people her own age that she hung out with literally about once a week, and it wasn't even like that serious. Like she wasn't like good friends with these people. She just went out and played music or watched them play music or eventually played music with them for, you know, a couple hours once a week, maybe. Oh my god. It upset me to a hardcore degree. And oh man, I would be passive aggressive and give her the silent treatment and all this horrible shit, really. And I don't know. I would say to talk back to the jealousy voice, because the jealousy voice is what comes up. It's like a panicky, clingy much. Exactly. I was clingy. But the jealousy voice is really a panic voice in my mind. Because it's like you're afraid that they're gonna dump you, essentially, right? But that's the thing about BPD, is that it's like you're terrified that these people are going to ditch you, so you act in all these various ways that people can't stand, including yourself. You can't stand it, and you're just running around panicked all the time that these people are going to ditch you. And then eventually, people can only take so much, and then sometimes they do ditch you or you ditch them, depending on the situation, because they either can't take it, or you are that whole, like, I'm gonna ditch you before you ditch me sort of deal. But I would say, like, once I started using the tools from BPD for Dummies and that I picked up from that, and the DBT page on Wikipedia, it would say, or I would say things like, and I would even write it out if I had to, I would say things like, okay, am I actually upset that she's speaking to another human being? Or, like, what's, because that's ridiculous. Getting upset because somebody's hanging out with somebody else, that's ridiculous. Like, even back then I knew that was ridiculous. And I would say, okay, is that the situation? Like, because that's not it. Like, what's causing me to react like that? And you have to, like, go, okay, I'm feeling this way, and then kind of trace it back, and then find out your thought process and what you're really, what you're feeling and what you're really thinking and what's causing what's causing it all. I think that's like mindfulness, like that area of DBT. And I would say, like, okay, it doesn't really bother me if she's hanging out with somebody per se. Why I think it bothers me is because I'm terrified that she's going to not want to be friends with me again. But if I keep acting like this, she's not going to want to be friends with me, because nobody can deal with that forever. And I just did stuff like that, and honestly, it didn't take very long for me to have to do that and be like, okay, I'm feeling this way and my heart's racing, and it sucks, but it's okay. It's not gonna kill me. It's not the end of the world. I'm okay. And I only had to do that a few times, whatever, before it just became second nature, and I would get upset less and less, and then when I did get upset, it wasn't as severe, and it was just, I don't know, it just eventually slowly becomes ingrained, if that makes sense. So I hope that helped. If you have a follow-up question, please feel free. Also, when I was rambling, I missed a lot of things, I think, so you have much knowledge. Thank you. Oh, hey, Jenna. What up? Such an ugly feeling. It is an ugly feeling, for sure. Jealousy is fear of being replaced. Yes, that is it. And honestly, you have to say, I had to remind myself that not everybody is going to leave. You have to get that out of your head. You have to talk back to that because, quite frankly, it's bullshit. Like, the friends I have now, I will probably be friends with them for the rest of my life. And, you know, as people age, you get different friends and people grow apart, and that's just life sometimes. But, you know, I don't know. You just have to talk back to the voices. Figure out what's going on with you physically, like my heart is racing, and maybe you feel tingly, or your face gets red because you're mad, but you're not really mad because that's another thing. Anger is a primary emotion. You have to figure out, you say, okay, I'm acting like I'm mad, but I'm not really mad. What's really happening is that I'm terrified that this person is going to ditch me. But do I have any proof that this person is going to ditch me other than them hanging out with another person, or, God forbid, speaking to another person, or whatever the case may be? No. You know what I mean? And you just have to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And it's not easy, but it becomes easier with practice. For sure. Okay. You're welcome. And I totally get that. I just got accepted to U of M. Hey, congratulations. That's awesome. Throw up some hearts in the chat. Oop. Thinking that everyone leaves, is that a BPD trait? Yes. As soon as somebody says everybody leaves, I immediately go ding 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 ding, you have BPD. Like, all of the BPD flags go flying, and I'm like, BPD. Yes, trying to assume the best out of people is usually a good thing. Also struggle with this a lot. Well, this will be on YouTube, so if you want, I think we started talking about this probably like half an hour ago, or 20 minutes ago. I don't know for sure. Hello, Ryan. Thank you for becoming a fan. I appreciate it. Whoa, thank you for inviting your fans. Where do you find the hearts? I don't know. I think a lot of people are on mobile, and you can use like the emoji keyboard or whatever to do the hearts. But if you're on a computer, hold down the Alt. Oh wait, if you're in a different country, I don't know if that'll work. But if you hold down the Alt button, ALT, and then 3, and then let go, a heart will appear. Ooh. And, or if somebody else puts a heart in the chat, you can copy and paste it. Usually that works. Oh, that's good. Love me some coffee. No, everyone doesn't leave. And also, even if you don't have BPD officially, you can have BPD features. But everybody doesn't leave. Like, if you're thinking everybody leaves in the sense of everybody dies eventually, then yeah, everybody leaves. But I don't know. That's just not healthy thinking. You know what I mean? BPD is pretty complex. And yeah, it's just complex. You know what I'm saying? Hang on. I need to check the website to make everything's cool over there. Hang on, I'm reading chat. I mean, on the website. Hey, thank you for becoming a fan. She said no, definitely not. I mean, I would say that there's more to BPD than just that. But I also think that that's, if as soon as I hear everybody leaves, I'm like, you have BPD probably, or at least BPD features. Unless, like I said, unless somebody was saying it in the way that to mean like everybody leaves, like if they're dealing with grief and they say, like everybody leaves eventually, everybody dies, because yeah, everybody does die eventually, but that doesn't mean everybody leaves. And also, I think an important like thing to realize is that, especially when you're young with BPD, is that like if you're in high school and then you go to college and then you get out of college, you're gonna have different friends at different stages in your life, and that's not even necessarily because everybody leaves. It's because everybody's going through life and they're experiencing life, and people drift apart naturally, and that's not even necessarily anybody's fault, and it's not always related to bitterness or abandonment. It doesn't mean that I was abandoned by my high school friends because we all went to different colleges and then they got their friends and their significant others and moved all across the country or the world or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Thank you for the 50 likes. Twitter Joe is here. What up? Thank you, Gavin. You too. Have a good day. Ryan, why should I guest you? And I don't mean that in a like, why should I guest you? But like, why do you want to be guested? I'm not sure I'm doing guests today. Oh, you have a Maine Coon cat? Oh my gosh, I used to have a Maine Coon. I love Maine Coons. They're huge. He was like 25 pounds. And he wasn't overweight. They're just ginormous. Sometimes they can be. I mean, they're not small cats. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Your friends dropped you a couple weeks ago. I'm sorry to hear that. If they drop you, I'm inclined to say, I hear a lot of people say it, I'm kind of inclined to say that if somebody, because if somebody, I lost my train of thought because too much is happening in my brain. Because, part of me is saying, or thinks, like, if somebody's friends drop them, then they're not really friends to begin with. But the truth is that, yes, that is true, generally. But people, it depends on the situation. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody had a death in their family, and then all of a sudden their friends were like, peace out, not gonna talk to you anymore, then, yes, I read, then that's not cool. Then they're not your friends. They weren't really good friends to begin with. But if somebody has BPD and they're being manipulative, but a lot of times people that are being manipulative do not realize that they're being manipulative. And I know that sounds weird, and like, how would you not know that you're being manipulative? But it's very possible. Or they're always being negative, or they're giving their people around them the silent treatment, or they're being passive aggressive, or they're having these reactions or whatever. People can only take so much. And it doesn't even mean that they don't love you or they don't care for you or they weren't really your friends, but people can only be pushed so far, period, the end, always. And, like, God, I felt so betrayed and crushed and everything else when I had friends in the past that just stopped talking to me one day. But now that I'm no longer even remotely that person, done a complete 180, I can 1,000% see why they stopped talking to me. Because, like, was it cool for them to stop talking to me without giving me any warning or giving me any explanation at all and just making me wonder? No, that's not cool. That's not cool of them at all. But to be fair for them, like, in their defense, they didn't know what to do. They had never dealt, you know what I mean? They just didn't know what to do. So their answer was to just start ignoring me completely. Because eventually when you ignore someone long enough, they get the hint and stop trying. Most of the time. But it just, you know what I mean? Like, people can only be pushed so far. So while I do think that real friends stick around, I also think that healthy people or self-aware people will put up boundaries, and if the other person doesn't expect or respect that boundary or those boundaries, then they'll probably be cut off eventually. Like, just watch Katie's video on like 4 tips on dealing with toxic people or something like that. Because the last result is cut them out of your life. Do you like math? Depends on the math. I haven't done math in a long time, but when I could actually understand the concepts, it took me a while to understand them, but once I did understand them, I liked them. You have a math question. Well, somebody in here might like math. Free burritos. I love burritos. Hey, Soph, what's going on? The math monster. You got out of a mouth exam today. That's awesome. I'm doing okay. Soph, how are you doing? The weather's kind of like crazy right now. I mean, it's like sunny, but the temperature's been way back and forth. Like this weekend, it was like 60 degrees. Then yesterday, it was like 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And then today, it's like 30 degrees. And tomorrow, I think it's supposed to be 30 something. And then after that, it's going to be 60 in the 60 degree Fahrenheit. You're awful demanding, Ryan. How are you, Soph? Oh, what I was going to say about the weather, the drastic temperature changes are making my lungs are a little congested or whatever. You guys are in winter now. Yes, we are. We are in winter, unfortunately, but it's going to be 60 degrees Fahrenheit in a couple days, so that's kind of unusual, but for Indiana, it's not that weird to have like really unseasonably warm temperatures every now and then. Like, when was that? February 2009. It was like 72 degrees Fahrenheit at the beginning of February. And it was amazing. And then I went and played basketball outside with some friends. And Carly, can I message you later on the website? Yes, absolutely. Please feel free. That's what I am there for. And I ended up stress fracturing my foot while during that time. Pneumonia's everywhere. Hello, people that just came in. We're up to 19 viewers, you guys. Maybe I should... 22 viewers? Holy crap. Maybe I should start broadcasting at this time. First step is recognizing your behavior and the thought attached. Yes, absolutely. Recognizing how you're feeling, and like if it's anger, I would challenge you to say, is it really anger, or why am I'm acting angry? Because anger is a primary emotion, and what's really causing that anger? It's not really anger a lot of the time. It can be very well disguised as anger, but especially with BPD, I would say it's usually fear. Thank you for inviting your fans. Also, Jer, if you don't have one of those depression lamps, like one of those lights, I would highly recommend you get one. I think you can get one on Amazon for like $20 maybe. One of my friends has one, and it helps. Hi, vampire. Hello. Everyone has walking pneumonia. That's no good. I don't think I'm getting pneumonia, but my lungs are... I also have asthma, but they're not dealing well. I've been, like, coughing a little bit. Dubis Shern, Layla. A sad lamp? Yeah, something like that. Is it true Americans are dumbs? Well, I'd venture to say no. Not all Americans are dumbs. If you were going for dummies, I also don't think that is, or all Americans are dumb. I would not say that is accurate, just because it's not cool to generalize or lump everybody together. If people, I really don't want people in other countries to think that everybody wanted douchebag Trump to be president, because I sure as fuck didn't. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into politics. I just wanted to use that as an example. Salt lamp. I've heard salt lamps are super helpful. You should Google a salt lamp. I saw them at CVS around Christmas. I don't have one, but I've read an article about them. And I think Katie, because I sent it to Katie, and she was like, oh yeah, I know people who've had those, and they're supposed to be good. So I would recommend, some people are dumb. And I don't mean they're unintelligent. I mean, some people are dumb in the sense of they do dumb shit. But yes, on the whole, it's not nice to say. Like some people get in random chats on YouNow and they're dumb. Like they're saying stupid things. And I don't mean stupid like 2 + 2 = 5. I mean stupid like trolling or saying inappropriate things. Like I think those people are dumb, but I don't mean it in an unintelligent fashion. I just mean they're being douchebags. You know what I mean? It's like saying all South Africans are racist. No, exactly. Yeah. Look up salt lamps. They're good. It's supposed to be good. I would venture to say, I mean, I didn't specifically know that California was asking for help about the dam, but it doesn't surprise me. And I think that they should, they probably should, it sounds like, ask for help. But I would also venture to say that good fucking luck with that, because let's be real. Ignorance makes people look dumb as well. That's the truth. For sure. How do they help with depression? You should Google it, because there was I read an article. I have to find it. You have nice eyeglasses. Thank you. They're very old and janky and beat up and about to break and all that stuff. But they've lasted me a long time, so they're not bad. Dr. Google. I'd have to find. I wonder if I can find that article. Might be able to find it if I search my messages. How do you search your messages? You can't search your messages. That's stupid. Okay, well, I can't find it, but if you Google salt lamp, I'm sure you'll be able to find some good articles on it. Okay, good. I'm glad it'll hold. Oh man, I got 29.5k coins. It's not bad. And I'm on level 21. So that's cool. Whoa, thank you for the 100 likes, Jen. I appreciate it. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Good, I'm glad you got coffee. I might have to go get some more myself. Thank you, Jen. That's very sweet. Oh, wait, hang on. I gotta check in on the chat. Make sure everybody's behaving. Broadcast interlude. I'm actually gonna have to go do some things. First of all, I gotta pee. Second of all, I'm gonna need to get something to eat. All that stuff. But I might broadcast again later. We shall see. But anyway, yeah, because we got up to 19 viewers this time. Making progress, you know what I'm saying? But, your email woke you up. Oh, yeah, I think I'm gonna go get something to eat. I need to get some lunch, and pee and all that jazz. But I might broadcast later. This was an awesome time in terms of broadcasting. Okay, good. Thanks for the early broadcast. You're welcome. Like I said, I might broadcast in a little bit, later today. We shall see. I might have to go run some errands. I don't know. but we'll see. I will try to broadcast if I can. So anyway, I hope you guys have a good day if I don't talk to you later or if I don't broadcast later. So, thank you. I hope you guys have an awesome day as well. And yeah, go pee. I definitely have to pee. So, alright, well, I will catch you on the flip side. Talk at you later. Peace out, yo.